Japan has long been seen as one of the world's most socially cohesive and immigration-resistant democracies. But in recent years, rising prices, demographic decline, and global instability have reshaped the political conversation. In the 2020s, a new party emerged from YouTube activism and anti-establishment frustration, promising to put Japanese first. That party is Sanseito. And since the most recent national election, it has gone from fringe movement to a blooming political force, bringing with it some of the most controversial rhetoric in modern Japanese politics. In this video, we examine its origins, its policies, and the growing debate around immigration and national identity in Japan. Before we get started, just a quick reminder that if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and share this video and channel to anyone who might be interested in things about Japan. It really helps. Alright, back to our story. Sanseito was founded in 2020 by conservative activists including most notably Sohei Kamiya. The party began not as a traditional political organization, but as a network of YouTube channels and online communities. It gained traction during the COVID-19 pandemic, often criticizing government mandates and promoting nationalist themes. From the beginning, Sanseito emphasized three core ideas: restoration of Japanese sovereignty, skepticism of globalism, and cultural preservation. Its slogan, Nihonjin First, literally means Japanese first. The phrase immediately drew comparisons to America First politics in the USA. Critics argue that much like in America, this framing positions foreigners as outsiders and potential threats. Supporters say it simply prioritizes citizens in policymaking. In the most recent House of Councillors election, Sanseito expanded its presence significantly. According to reporting from Reuters, the party capitalized on economic anxiety and concerns about immigration. While still much smaller than major parties like the LDP, Sanseito's gains were symbolically significant. It had entered mainstream debate. Its campaign messaging focused heavily on immigration, referred to as Gaikokujin Mondai, or the foreigner issue. This framing itself became controversial. Japan's foreign population has grown in recent years, but still accounts for roughly only 3 to 4% of the population. Even though the crime rate by foreign residents in Japan is almost exactly the same as for Japanese people, Sanseito argues that even this level threatens social stability. They use media examples of unruly tourists and highlight media-driven examples of any wrongdoing by foreign residents to scare scores of Japanese people into thinking that their culture is under direct attack. According to party materials and media reporting, Sanseito has proposed stricter immigration screening, limits on foreign land ownership, tighter naturalization standards, and restrictions on welfare access for non-citizens. And, the big one, a stronger emphasis on cultural assimilation, or doka. This term, doka, itself triggered backlash. Critics argue it implies that cultural minorities must abandon their own identities to live in Japan. One of the most recent controversial discussions surrounding Sanseito involved remarks interpreted as suggesting that foreign residents, even long-term or permanent residents, should eventually return to their home countries after retirement. While party officials have sometimes softened or clarified these comments, online debate and media coverage amplified the idea that foreigners would be viewed as temporary economic tools. Critics argue this reflects an instrumental view of immigrants, welcome while economically useful, but not fully accepted as members of society. Supporters counter that Japan should avoid becoming dependent on foreign labor permanently. Sanseito campaign rhetoric has linked immigration to crime and social disorder. However, as mentioned before, national crime statistics do not show foreigners committing crime rates disproportionate to their population size. Fact-checking groups and journalists have criticized what they describe as misleading framing. Beyond immigration, Sanseito also advocates for constitutional revision, stronger national defense, traditional family values, and skepticism towards expanding LGBTQ protections, all of which are very right-wing in thinking. The party promotes what it calls the protection of the traditional view of the family. Critics argue this marginalizes especially LGBTQ individuals and reinforces rigid gender roles. Sanseito denies any discrimination, framing its position as preserving cultural continuity. Analysts note parallels between Sanseito and right-wing populist movements in Europe and the United States. These include anti-globalism, cultural nationalism, immigration skepticism, and distrust of elites. However, Japan's situation is unique. The country faces severe demographic decline. Its workforce is shrinking rapidly. Some economists argue immigration is economically necessary for Japan to survive. Sanseito argues instead for higher Japanese birth rates and domestic revitalization. Sanseito's rise reflects genuine anxieties in Japanese society: economic insecurity, cultural change, and global uncertainty. But its framing of immigration as a central threat has sparked intense debate. The debate has even filtered into other political parties having harsher views and policies towards foreign residents, trying to make their voters happy. The Takaichi LDP majority government looks like it's going through with its plans to seriously increase by a huge percentage the costs charged to foreigners looking to renew visas and/or become official residents of Japan. They've also issued public tough talk about punishment for those residents committing crimes in Japan, though I think this has really always been the case anyway. For foreign residents, including permanent residents, the conversation is becoming increasingly personal. Is Japan moving towards a more inclusive future or towards a more exclusive nationalism? Sanseito has forced the question into the open. And as Japan confronts its demographic and economic challenges, the answer may shape the country's identity for decades to come. I hope you like this video, and as always, please like, subscribe, and share it with anyone you think might be interested for more tidbits from Japan.